the LA Rams, as it always usually does, it comes down to this. Making moves to say what's already been done here isn't enough, even though this was our blueprint. And they changed it up. Boy, howdy did they change it up. They changed it up. It was over a year ago, right at this time, when they decided to go get Matthew Stafford, when it was made known to them that he was available. And they changed it up, and Matthew Stafford decided to say, I want out in Detroit, and that's the beginning of it. Yeah. They also had drafted Aaron Donald beforehand and traded for Jalen Ramsey and got Andrew Whitworth from the Cincinnati Bengals and convinced him, or he didn't need much convincing to stick around. And they made all these moves. They did draft Cooper Kupp. They did have Robert Woods already in the chute, and so many others, Leonard Floyd. But Matthew Stafford and all the questions about this guy, is it him? Is it Detroit? Is it a combination of the two? And right now, Matthew Stafford is a Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
These are facts.
Yeah, man.
Matthew Stafford's a Super Bowl champion. Odell Beckham's a Super Bowl champion. Jalen Ramsey's a Super Bowl champion. Aaron Donald is a Super Bowl champion. Number 9 in your program now for the Los Angeles Rams, and number 1 in the hearts of so many in the state of Texas, where he grew up, and Georgia, where he went to school, where he was a first overall pick, and it's also in Detroit. Now he is a Super Bowl champion because he, in a game where his weapons were less than the ones that he came into the game with, because he took the field with 6 minutes and change left, needing to go 78 yards from his own 22-yard line and needing to get down the field against a defense that was playing lights out. A Bengals defense that took the running game straight out. And that's the way the Rams make hay through their run game. Not just because they can run it well, but because the threat of the run leads to the play action and all of what McVay and now the new coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, does. They make all of their hay off that play action, and the Bengals took it straight out, and it looked like Odell Beckham Jr. was having a huge night in front of him. Huge night in front of him. And then his ACL goes again, and out goes Odell Beckham, who had already scored a touchdown, and Cooper Kupp had already scored a touchdown. And after that, momentum switched. Joe Burrow and the Bengals came out at halftime and lit it up. By the way, there was a lot of lighting up during halftime as well, but they lit it up.
Hey.
They lit it up. They lit it up on a 75-yard touchdown to start the second half. And I understand what happened to Jalen Ramsey and his face mask, but it was allowed to stand. And it was allowed to stand, and T. Higgins goes in the end zone and touchdown. Suddenly the Rams are down. Then an interception because the receiver that replaced Odell Beckham Jr. had one go off his hands. And to me, those were the two momentum shifts in this game. One of them being Odell Beckham going out, and then the other one being Aaron Donald starting to make his presence felt. After that interception, that gave all the momentum to Cincinnati, the guy who finally ended the Bengals' opportunity to make it a 2-score game and kept it a 1-score game and forcing a field goal was Aaron Donald. Sacked Joe Burrow, took him straight down, and kept it a 1-score game. And then Stafford and the offense kept getting better field position, but couldn't do anything with it. 2 straight possessions from midfield. Nothing. And the Rams got one more shot at it, still being a 1-score game, or at least a one-score game in which a touchdown would win the game for him, because Tyler Boyd dropped one for the first time all year, forcing the Bengals to punt. Rams get the ball back, and it's in Stafford's hands, and there was a 4th and short shortly after that, and the whole stadium went silent. Guys, as you know, that's a very loud stadium, the Who's House, Rams House stuff, and all that business. And the Bengals fans were just lit up. They were so excited. Their team was up in the 4th quarter of a Super Bowl and looked like this was it, because the Rams offense wasn't doing jack on top of squat. Cooper Kupp comes around the end, gets that first down. And then Stafford starts connecting with Cooper Kupp, which is a good thing because the Kupp to Stafford connection isn't as good. And Kupp starts catching footballs, including one over the middle. Stafford threw a dart that went over outstretched arms into the hands of Kupp while he threw it to a spot Kupp was going to, and threw it past a whole bunch of Bengals to get it there. And then, as we all know, eventually found Kupp in the end zone after a flag fest hit. And I'll hit that later on. I would just want to talk about this moment because I thought those flags were warranted inside the red zone, even though a lot was let go throughout the entire game, including, by the way, the mugging of offensive pass interference on Jalen Ramsey. But Stafford finds Kupp in the end zone. And that's what we're talking about the Super Bowl. When the game is on the line, you need your playmakers to do it. And even though Kupp was getting shut down and the running game was getting shut down, Stafford kept finding Kupp when the chips were down. And that's the way legacies are born. And that's the way guys who are filling the stat sheet in regular seasons in Detroit Lion purgatory go somewhere else, get an opportunity amongst others in a team and an organization better equipped for you. And that's the way you get a ring and put yourself right there to say, I'm a Pro Football Hall of Famer, which I believe Matthew Stafford officially became last night. Obviously, we'll hear it eventually at some point, the yay or nay. And Kurt Warner took a few cracks at it to finally get in, even though he took another downtrodden team to the Super Bowl, because the Rams were his first downtrodden team he took to the Super Bowl. But you'll hear it one day, and certainly if Stafford wins another, that would be what we call a lock. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.